So paid search traditionally is buying the ads around the outside of the Google search engine results, or the same on Yahoo or Bing. But really in the last 12 months that's fundamentally changed, where other forms of media are actually coming into the search environment. These include the main ones being Facebook, where the ads around Facebook profiles are actually bought in a very search way, which is buying the advertising on a per-click basis. And also we're seeing further changes in the industry in that area, where things like display, which is formerly bought on a CPM or per thousand methodology, to being bought on a cost per click basis, and that's really what's being called performance display. So what is search has fundamentally changed over the last 12 months, and that's really putting some different demands on the search marketer in this area. So really what we're looking at now is that search is buying things on a per-click basis and then buying media for the purpose of performance. And the performance, it's biddable performance media or something like that from that point of view. But paid search has fundamentally changed in the last 12 months. So travel is a very competitive vertical in search marketing. And because of this, you need to approach it in a very sophisticated way and consider all things in this entire environment. So my best advice would be to start with the end in mind, as far as clearly understand what you want to get out of this and what you will get out of it if it happens. So this is a way of looking at what are the margins of the different products that you're doing, what are the actual products that you're selling, and how are you going to track that and recognize when that success happens. And this is both a technical and a strategic exercise that you need to take, which is looking at the varying profit margins that you have with each one of the products that you're selling, the different locations that your products and services are available in, take into account seasonality, and then understanding where the volumes are in those areas. The second part of this is that due to the competitive nature, but then also the massive complexity that you face in the travel market, where you have users searching for numerous different things, you generally get large keyword sets because there's so many different things that people could be typing in when they're talking about travel. So unfortunately or fortunately, there's a massive amount of demand, but there's also a huge amount of competition. So travel new people into the marketplace for paid search is that you can't dip your toe in the water. You really have to go full steam ahead with this and be fully committed to what you're wanting to do. And I guess that's why it's so critical to understand what your goals are going into it and to be able to measure that success moving out of it. So make sure that you embrace all opportunities that are available to you, which doesn't mean just Google, but absolutely Google. But then also look at Yahoo, look at Bing, look at Facebook, and then also look at the other sort of more specialist areas within that, which are things like mobile and iPads is a separate thing, but then also things like the Google Display Network, retargeting, all of these sorts of areas will actually give you a competitive edge over your competitors. So what travel companies should be doing more of in this marketplace? And I think that it's about taking control of your campaigns, and the way that you take control and get more transparency as an advertiser is by, again, creating a technical link between the transactional and the marketing side of your business. So work aggressively towards optimizing and looking at your business in a full 360 view, but off one set of numbers. So pick what is tracking your business and go with that. As far as any discrepancies or uncertainties in the numbers that you're working with just causes you confusion and reduces the transparency and control that you have over your campaigns. So a lot of the customers that we're working with, we're actually integrating with booking engines and CRMs to get the true information which is reported to the board or the CFO at the end of the month, to make sure that the money that you're seeing come through your activities of paid search do actually hit the bank account at the end of the month and does result in a booking. So getting a full 360 view and integrating with your booking engine, with your call center, with your CRM, and recognizing all revenue which is taken from that is something which the more sophisticated travel search marketers are doing these days, and I would encourage all people to look at that. The second thing would be focus on the customer and recognize the platform that they're consuming your media on. As far as an ad that works for someone that is doing a brand search on Google, and the text that you would use for that may or may not work when someone consumes exactly the same media on a mobile device or through an iPad, or whether they're on Facebook. Every channel that you have, although it's bought in the same way, has got its own little nuances about how that media is placed and how it's consumed and how it performs. So for example, a Facebook ad will perform very differently from what a Google brand term ad would perform as, mainly because, for example, Facebook is an interruptive ad, and you're trying to capture someone's attention who is viewing different content, where a Google brand term is that people are searching for you in particular. So recognizing those different things. For example, another example would be someone consuming an ad on a mobile phone, where you need to consider location. You also need to consider the fact that they're on a mobile, so the call to action probably should be a phone number. There are these different things as far as looking at the customer and understanding what kind of ad they should see for the situation that they're in and where they're actually viewing the ad, but then also having an appreciation of the platform that they're consuming this media on as well.